Welcome back on Fearless. I got some more Reddit stuff for you. Last time I reacted to this same video, it was my sister was upset my boyfriend touched my surrogate baby bump. So basically, the one that's pregnant is the surrogate for her sister. She dated a guy who liked touching her belly way too much. And it turns out the sister was right. That guy is a little off. He was into babies. But the reason I say he's a little off is not I'm trying to kink shame. It was the way he responded to her. She says she went and talked to him. And he just goes, yeah, I thought you knew. Thought it was obvious. And it's like, that's something you should make sure you're on the same page about. You shouldn't just assume they know. And a lot of people say, yeah, he's gaslighting. He was hoping he could slide it by you and you wouldn't be okay and you wouldn't say anything. But yeah, it was weird because apparently she went on a double date with one of her friends and her friends were like, yeah, that's kind of weird. He was kind of from what she was saying, the friends say he was kind of abusive too with it because he just made all kinds of jokes and stuff and wouldn't let up. And the friend was like, yeah, I'll poke fun at you, but not to that extreme. And so that's when she realized, oh, maybe my sister has a point. Now the sister, from what she says, may have went a little overboard trying to get her point across, but yeah, it turned out he was in the pregnant women. I guessed that from the beginning. But then there's one that caught my attention, says, I stole my cat. So that one sounds interesting. So I want to see what she means by I stole my cat. Like, her cat that she has, she stole from someone else, is what I'm thinking. So let's get into the cat stealing and see what's going on. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Girlfriend to take out the trash.
I love the title of this one. I feel like this one's going to be weird.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for stealing my cat?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll let you continue.
It's a 21-year-old woman. So I have a beautiful brown cat, Midge. She's still a baby and is 10 months old. I found her outside of my work when she was about 2 to 3 months old and immediately fell in love with her. We've had the best time together, and her being my first pet since moving out makes me even happier. My cousin Tanya, who's 15, visits me a lot since we live in the same city, and I enjoy having her. She also really likes cats, but...
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here and take a wild guess. Her cousin, is that what she said, her cousin? Whoever that person is, stole the cat, and she stole it back. And I want to see if I'm right. If I am right, then no, your relative should never took a cat in the first place. All right, let's see.
Is allergic. They don't have any at home. She really loves coming over to see Midge, and I'm glad to be able to provide her with Midge's presence. School recently started, and before I go back to being full-time student, I've been having to work almost 45 hours a week to afford my lifestyle for the next couple months. Since I was busy, I let her have the responsibility of taking care of Midge, such as feeding her, cleaning her litter box, etc. It was going really well, and I didn't have the chance to take her home since I was going to be at work. I gave her my spare key to lock up and scheduled an Uber to take her to her house. When I came home 8 hours later, Midge was gone. I called Tanya, and she swore Midge was home when she left, but after a couple hours, my brother called asking when I gave Midge to Tanya. I was confused, and he sent me a screenshot of Tanya kissing Midge on her Instagram story. I knew then she blocked me from being able to see it, and I was shocked she would do this to me as well as lie. I had a spare key to their house and went right over and took Midge back when they weren't home. When I got home, Tanya called screaming at me over the phone, telling me I broke into their house and stole her property. I laughed and asked how Midge was hers. She told me since she took care of her, she deserved her since I wasn't home, and she had to save Midge. Her parents were also pretty upset since I did go into their home without permission and told me I didn't deserve Midge from what Tanya told them. They told me they decided my uncle will take allergy medication for Midge and I needed to give her back. Of course I said no. Tanya ended up calling my mom, lying to her that I abused Midge. My mom called angry, telling me how could I do this to Midge, and if I don't give her to Tanya and her family, she will disown me. Tanya texted me this weekend that if I apologize...
I feel like this is one of those... I'm going to be honest. Every time I hear stories like this, it's like, are you not close with your mom that she would immediately believe stuff like that? I know there are families like this, but so often it's like, I don't feel like it's a real story because it's like it happens way too often in these Reddit stories.
she might forgive me. Her parents have been texting me all weekend. They'll press charges since I did go into their home, and will take Midge then. I don't know what to do. I love Midge so much, and my mom gave my aunt and uncle permission to go to my apartment and take her. I know this because Tanya texted me this. I'm assuming to scare me. I am. I'm so scared one of these days I'm going to come home and Midge is going to be gone again. My brother and dad think I'm an asshole since I did go into their home without permission and acted out without trying to solve it maturely. So am I the asshole for stealing my cat?
This is rough.
I just lived like 20 years listening.
Okay, first of all, let's say it's real. Not if you have a spare key to their house, no, it's actually not breaking and entering. In most states, that's not breaking and entering. If they gave you a key to the house, and also it's not their cat, and also if she came and took the cat like that, why is everyone believing the girl? The other girl. Why is everyone just automatically believing her? So it's like, I feel like if this is a real story, we're missing something to where has she done stuff in the past to where people don't believe her? That's something else I'm missing. I always feel like there's something missing to where everyone's against you. You're leaving something out. So, but yeah. It's your cat, just get a lawyer. We'll solve it that way.
That's a really rough situation.
Wait a second. Can I get this clear? So Tanya's her friend.
Her cousin.
Tanya's her cousin that she
15-year-old cousin who she was working a bunch, so she let Tanya have the key to her place to basically come and cat sit every day, and take care of her cat. This teenager steals her cat, takes it to her place, and it's not like, it's my cat. Blocks her, just sounds like a psycho, and sounds like
She sounds like she's 15.
She's 15, but it's the parents and the uncle and aunt are also fucking psycho, and so that sucks. These are crazy people.
Here's the deal, though. Obviously, I'm furious at the idea.
I know.
I have my cats. I love them so much. If anyone were to ever, I would lose my mind.
Yeah.
But also, I want to leave a sliver of doubt here for any updates, because that is so many people in this person's life saying that she's wrong. And that is possible.
I know.
That's possible that everybody else sucks. But I've also known people who are really, really bad pet owners.
That's tricky.
It's shocking because, yes, because we're hearing it from her perspective.
Right.
For the mom to just immediately believe.
I was going to say, mom immediately believed, how could you do that? She didn't, which means she didn't have any faith in her daughter.
Yeah, and what I will say is, if I was in this situation, the cat being taken is insane, but this is your cousin, so these are all people that you know very well. It's I feel like you would call them and be like, hey, she took my cat.
She broke into their house, which is
It's not, but it's like.
She had a key.
She had a key.
But she didn't have permission, but they gave her a key.
They gave her a key. I don't, legally, I don't know any of that stuff. But it's she's now in a tough position because she did that. Now she's in this messy
She f***ed herself over.
Whereas if she had called and said, hey, you have my cat. You took my cat. Even if she had the records of texts of saying you took my cat, she could then show that maybe. I don't know, but it's tough to just jump to that.
I guess you sort of go tit for tat in that point, because it's okay, you stole my cat, I stole it back. Breaking and entering versus
right. She did technically steal the cat.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So the niece stole the cat first, so you could press charges on the niece for theft.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if someone did anything to my pets, I would. I don't know what I would become.
You burned my house to the ground!
Truly, I'm if you want to, and I would never mess with anyone else's pets because I know, if you want to unlock demon mode out of something.
Yeah, you would stop at nothing.
That's probably the fastest way to get murdered by a lot of people. To mess with their pets.
I will walk backwards out of the underworld with both cats in hand. Completely fine, yeah.
So the verdict here was not the asshole, which I think makes sense given from her perspective.
It's all the info we have.
We don't.
It's all we have. Yeah, we don't know.
Because, if I'm fitting in one of my friends into this situation, I'd be like, oh yeah, you're not the asshole. But that's my friends who are good pet owners.
Yes. Yeah. And so as presented, yes, of course she should steal her cat back.
But it's valid what you're saying. Someone said, not the asshole, change your locks. If they want to press charges against you for retrieving your property, in the eyes of the law, a cat is property, then they'll have to admit that your cousin stole from you in the first place. I would just block and ignore all of these people. Someone else said, if you haven't taken the cat to the vet or got her chipped, do so now. That way there's a paper trail as to whose cat that is. Edit to say, everyone calling you an asshole for using the spare key you had to retrieve your stolen property. Get your locks changed so they cannot steal her again. Not the asshole, and I hope your family will realize the damage your cousin did to your trust in them. Someone said, people in this thread actually did that? Having a spare key implies permission to use it. You can't retroactively decide that the reason for using it wasn't good enough.
That is true.
That's true.
That feels very valid to me.
They're lucky she used the key. If someone took my cats, I'd Kool-Aid Man through the wall.
That was another thought I had, though, because, when you adopt a cat, there's a lot of stuff you have to do when you get a pet. And it's like, I feel like a veterinarian would be like, yes, this is their cat. They're here. They had all this stuff. There's a little edit here. I called and left a voicemail to my landlord and gave a brief explanation of the situation. I am upset since I asked for him to change the locks and he refused. Legally, he was able to refuse since as a college student, my mom's name is on the lease and he needed her permission. Of course, he called and she refused. I'm scared she's going to come tomorrow, but I do have a friend I can drop Midge off before work. Update.
Okay.
Here we go.
Because I was going to say the family is very against.
The mom's name's on the lease. I don't know how this stuff works. Even, I know college, they still got to sign the lease. If she's legally 18, I don't know if maybe this isn't in the U.S., but at least where I've lived, they still got to sign the lease. Whether the parents are on the lease or not, they still got to sign the lease, which gives them rights. If she's legally the tenant and the mom's just on there as a co-signer, you can't refuse. He can't refuse to do that. So, well, I guess I have to read the agreement, the lease agreement, but that sounded weird. That's why I'm leaning towards that this is not 100% real or not 100% the whole story.
Sure.
Yeah, this is wild.
I took a lot of people's advice and got Midge microchipped yesterday, as well as I had a conversation with my mom that we resolved together. My landlord still refused to change my locks despite all this. This morning, Midge was taken. I called my aunt and uncle and they just laughed and told me, try, we can hire a good lawyer. I called the police and explained the situation, showing proof I had ownership of Midge. When we went to my relative's house, the police asked for her back, but of course they refused. What made me even angrier was my cousin inside the house, door open, holding Midge with a shit-eating grin. Even though I had all this evidence, my relative slammed the door demanding a warrant. Police suggested I press charges and take it to small claims court. I am. But they couldn't do anything right there. Going home without Midge was so upsetting. I had to pull over because I started crying. I contacted an attorney and my cousin keeps posting photos of Midge on her Instagram. I took the situation to the family group chat in anger and good news at least. Everyone hates them now. My grandmother wrote my uncle and his family off the will and of course they're calling me threatening me with Midge. And they'll make sure I go to jail for all this. I'm fairly confident in myself, but I would be lying if I wasn't more concerned with Midge. I just want my baby back, and I've been crying all day. God damn.
There is the possibility that the other family's just crazy. That's also a thing.
I mean, they're taking it to the next level. Like, the grandmother's like, you're out of the will. It's like, what? I'm not saying because it's just a cat. Trust me, as a pet owner, that is a family member.
Right.
But it's also like, I can't tell who's in the wrong here because it's like the cousin's going to go this far to have the cops called on them.
I always say how I am not good with stories that have to do with just families who are evil to each other on a level like this.
That's a thing.
I just didn't experience that.
Happens.
But I'm like, for her to be there with the cat, like, yes, I have your cat. I'm just like, you guys couldn't just get your own cat? Like, god damn.
This is the Helen of Troy of cats.
It just this all seems so...
That's why I also don't 100% believe this is a true story. There's so much going on. Like the whole cop thing. Sadly, there are bad cops. But legally, if they see that cat and she's shown proof of ownership, they can go get that cat. So that's why I was like, sometimes you get cops who don't want to be involved. And it sounds like that's what she got. She needs to go and talk to someone else. But yeah, if she has proof of ownership, that's why I don't necessarily believe this is real. maybe it's not in the U.S. Could be in Canada. It could be someplace else. But there's so many little things here that leave doubt for me. And why did the mom... I'm still caught up on the mom not believing her right off the bat. It sounds like those Reddit stories that you hear, and then later you find out they were fake. And that I'm still leaning towards this is fake.
Heightened that I'm like, I need to meet these people.
Yeah.
To know what's going on. I never want to meet any
I was like,
people.
you sure?
No, I'll meet Cucumber Lady, but I don't want to.
Me too. She just comes here. She's like, "Do you mind?"
Reddit stories with Cucumber Lady, and she's just eating cucumber.
Sorry, we got a sound issue. Can you fucking stop? I will say, Zelda, my cat, has 2 microchips because she's so chubby that the first one migrated and we can't find it.
It migrated.
Migrated to where?
That's
She pooped it out?
if I knew that, we wouldn't need 2 microchips.
Oh no! She's like, Zelda.
Like they're just like under each flap and fold. They're like, oh, yeah, we're not finding it. And I'm like, oh, geez, what do I do? And they're like, you can do another. I'm like,
Another.
God.
A possibility here.
Your cat needs to go on a diet. That's not good. Jesus.
Is that the aunt and uncle are like viewing her as a college student who's also working as being like, you don't have time for a pet.
But you don't really have a lot of time when you're a college student.
Right.
Also.
But I would also argue, I mean, a cat is a pet that you can have while being on a busy schedule.
yeah.
You still have to pay a lot of attention to it and take care of it.
Maybe it's the family.
But this family could be thinking, oh, she doesn't have time for this cat. This cat's being neglected because of her situation.
Not because she's a bad person, but because
Yeah.
she's busy and maybe the family
But
Yeah.
the way that they're going about it is f***ing crazy.
Yeah, they are
could have
making that call
they
for
could have
her.
been like, hey, like, could we adopt your cat? Like, are you so busy? Like, can we just take
It's
it?
really hard to know who's the asshole in this story.
It's a weird thing. I mean, I think you're an asshole for taking someone's property. Like you are. You have to
Consistently.
You can't take someone's cat. Like you just can't. I think
Unless you have really good cause.
Unless it's like this cat might die. Like yes. But if you're just kind of like I don't know, this situation's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's so
But all
bizarre.
this whole thing is so weird. How easily all these people are swayed. The mom immediately.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see this happening in real life. There's too much convenience, there's too much. That's why I'm leaning towards this is fake. I'm now putting it down 100% fake. It's an okay story, but I'm going with 100% fake. Because the way they're flip-flopping so easy, this many people just, first they were against her, and now they're on her side. Yeah, because she was righteous. No. And because the first part is, why did they believe the girl? Why did they believe the cousin so easily? That was my first thing. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, we believe you now. And grandma's renting you out of the will. Now you're saying you're a rich family? That your grandma has a will that she's going to leave all this money behind? All this stuff behind that everybody's concerned about? That's what it sounds like. Who cares if you get written out of the will? Unless grandma's like a millionaire, most people aren't going to care. You know? And in this day and age, wills get contested all the time. They could just contest it saying grandma wasn't in her right frame of mind. Well, anyways, I think this is a fake story.
Immediately believed like you're the bad person. And then it's like, but we talked now, my mom's on my side. I'm like, the f*** is going on?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
What the f***?
Communication.
Yeah.
Day number 2. I just want to say Midge is home. Small claims court came around and my attorney was very confident and helped me out so much. She was very helpful and knew from the start we would win. I provided the judge everything. Yes, everything you guys commented as proof I own her. Photos of her as a baby, proof I have paid for all vet bills since she was a baby, and proof I had Midge chipped. My landlord also helped. Although a lot of people were upset with him and telling me to move out, he was remorseful that his decision had consequences. I have forgiven him as his apology came with security footage of my aunt and uncle going into my apartment and taking Midge. We have been in North Carolina since the case. They have been silent, most likely embarrassed. To end this on a good note, I wish I could have taken a picture of Tanya's face when she handed Midge back to me. That was messy.
Dude, there's some deep deep-seated family
I mean,
stuff going on here.
Yeah.
With the cousin, like, I think there's some opposing
That's
the family.
That's one of those. I mean, like I said, I feel it's not my place to ever tell people like, oh, you shouldn't talk to your family when
I'll say it.
I'm not in that, but I'm not in that type of situation.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like, that's easy for me to say as someone who isn't in, but I'm like, that level of vitriol where like you're stealing shit from each other. I'm like, okay, I understand if you want to go no contact.
So I think that's why I was so initially like tempted to be like, yes, there's more to it. Like clearly there's something with the animal, because the only other possibility is those 3 other people are crazy.
Right.
And then the aunt and the uncle are also supporting the crazy. And it's like, yep, security footage of them breaking in all together. Okay.
No,
like,
yeah.
Sorry.
On principle, all of these things, it's like, yes, there's.
I'm still going with this whole story's fake. There was just too much going on, too much back and forth. It's like, not everyone's going to go one way and everyone's then suddenly go back the other way. It was just too much. Either she's paraphrasing the whole event, how long it actually took, because it makes it feel like this was only like maybe a month or a couple months. Maybe this was a year or more. But still, to come out and say everybody was against me, even my mom, but then I talked to my mom and it's all good. Like, well, if this was real and your mom immediately turned on you, 1, you don't have a good relationship. 2, what have you done in the past for your mom to just immediately go, you did it? I believe her. So, oh yeah.
A clear-cut answer to all this, but when you're reading this story out and our initial reactions, it's like, what the hell am I missing?
Is this
here?
even about the cat?
Yeah, it feels like when you're reading a book and, you know, it's like shit's weird and you're like, okay, clearly they're foreshadowing that some weird stuff's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I feel when I'm reading this, where I'm like, okay, what are you not telling me?
That's still true. They haven't hit Thanksgiving yet. So like, some weird stuff is absolutely about to happen.
God damn. If any other updates happen or if anyone in the comments has more context on that story,
poor sweet little Midge.
But
getting kidnapped left and right.
I hope that cat is okay. That cat's just like, God
the
damn.
cat's like, lights up a cigarette. Man, I've been living life, Mom. Let me tell you a little story.
Yeah, why don't you lay off the catnip a bit, pal? Get you some water.
Nah, man,
don't tell me what to do. I'll leave.
I can play piano.
How?
Next story.
All right, that was good. Yeah, I'm still leaning towards this is a fake story. Like he was saying, the way it was written, it's more like a creative writing thing, is what it felt like. Every time I hear these Reddit stories where everyone's against you, it's like, everyone's against you? And why is everyone against you? Yeah, it's like, I'm always a pushover. Still, or something. I'm always leery of these stories. And then the happy ending. That's why I said I feel like a creative writing. Like, first the anger, the this and that. Like it was supposed to be a rage bait Reddit story. And that's what it feels like. So, yeah. I don't believe this one. If it's real, hey, I'm still leaning it's not real. But either way, I forgot what I was going to say. My brain blanked. Well, anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.